In some rural areas of Mexico, drug cartels function as Internet Service Providers, ISPs. These cartels have established their own independent internet networks. This allows them to control communication and information flow within their territories. The cartel-operated networks may provide internet access to local residents. This can create a dependency and reinforce the cartel's authority in the region. These networks operate outside the control and regulation of the Mexican government. Cartels frequently establish their own private communication networks. These networks require specialized telecommunications equipment. Cartels often resort to theft to acquire necessary equipment. They may also procure equipment through illicit channels. This equipment includes routers and antennas for network construction. Cartels install narco antennas in remote, underserved areas. These areas often lack state infrastructure. The antennas facilitate illicit communications. Installation occurs in outdoor environments. Cartels sometimes force local residents to subscribe to their internet service. This subscription is typically enforced through threats of violence. Residents are left with no choice but to pay the cartel's monthly fee. This creates a system of extortion where essential services are weaponized. The cartel profits by instilling fear and controlling access to internet connectivity. Cartels actively monitor internet usage to gather intelligence. This monitoring includes tracking who is currently online. Cartels analyze online communications to understand user activity. They also identify communication networks and relationships between individuals. The internet can be exploited for surveillance purposes. It also enables control over information and communication. The internet can be used as a platform for propaganda dissemination. It facilitates profit generation through various illicit activities. In 2024, Mexican authorities conducted a raid on a cartel network. The raid targeted the cartel's operational infrastructure. The authorities successfully seized equipment belonging to the cartel. This seizure included various types of equipment used in their operations. The raid significantly disrupted the cartel's activities. The operation aimed to dismantle the cartel's network and hinder their operations. Authoritarian regimes sometimes suppress dissent by controlling internet access. One method is to throttle internet speeds, making online activity difficult. Another tactic is a complete internet shutdown, cutting off online access entirely. These measures are often implemented during periods of protest or unrest. The goal is to limit the flow of information and hinder the organization of opposition. Corporations have the ability to control internet access. This control includes throttling bandwidth for certain services. Corporations can also prioritize specific content. These actions influence user experience and access to information. A small number of companies exert considerable influence over the global internet infrastructure. These major players include Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Apple. Their combined resources and technologies allow them to manage key aspects of the internet. This control spans various domains, from data storage to content delivery. The concentration of power raises questions about competition and innovation. Understanding this concentration is crucial for assessing the internet's future development. Certain companies own the core infrastructure of the internet. This infrastructure includes physical servers. It also includes the vast network of cables connecting these servers. Furthermore, these companies maintain the platforms necessary for internet operation. Collectively, these elements form the backbone of the internet. Content moderators have significant control over the visibility of online content. They determine which content is displayed to users. Moderators can suppress or remove content deemed inappropriate. This includes content that violates community guidelines or legal standards. They also influence the speed at which information spreads online. Their decisions impact the flow of information and public discourse. Tech giants possess the capability to ban users from their platforms. Account banning involves the complete removal of a user's access and presence. Shadow banning is a more subtle method of restricting a user's reach and visibility. Shadow banned accounts may still exist, but their content is hidden from others. Platforms can also suppress or bury voices they consider problematic. Big tech companies gather extensive user data from various sources. This data collection enables personalized user experiences. Collected data is also used for targeted advertising strategies. The scale of data collection raises privacy and ethical considerations. Algorithms play a crucial role in curating the content users encounter online. These algorithms determine the visibility and ranking of information. The selection process shapes users' perceptions of various topics and trends. By prioritizing certain content, algorithms can influence users' understanding of events. This influence extends to users' decision-making processes. Therefore, algorithms have a significant impact on shaping individual choices and opinions. Tech companies employ terms of service, 2S, agreements as a mechanism for governance. These agreements dictate the acceptable parameters of user conduct within their platforms. 2S agreements also define the scope and limitations of data usage by the company. Users implicitly consent to these terms upon utilizing the company's services or platform. The agreements serve as a legal framework for managing user interactions and data handling practices. Online censorship involves the filtering and suppression of information on the internet. This process is often driven by corporate policies designed to manage brand reputation and legal compliance. Government regulations also play a significant role in dictating what content is permissible within a country's digital space. Censorship can target various forms of content, including text, images, videos, and even specific keywords. The implementation of censorship varies widely, reflecting differing legal and ethical standards across jurisdictions. An echo chamber describes an environment where individuals are primarily exposed to information reinforcing their existing beliefs. This selective exposure creates a closed loop of validation. Within an echo chamber, diverse perspectives are minimized or absent. This lack of exposure to alternative viewpoints can lead to the reinforcement of biases. Echo chambers can exist both online and offline. Social media algorithms often contribute to the formation of echo chambers. The digital divide refers to unequal access to the internet and digital technologies. This divide creates disparities in opportunities and resources. Limited access to the internet exacerbates existing social inequalities. It also widens the gap in economic opportunities. Bridging the digital divide is crucial for fostering a more equitable society. Internet access is controlled through different methods in different regions. In Mexico, cartels employ fear and violence as a means of controlling internet access. This approach relies on intimidation and force to regulate online activity. Big tech companies utilize convenience and data collection as methods of control. These methods involve user-friendly interfaces and the gathering of user data. The original internet vision was a free network. It was intended to be decentralized, avoiding central control. The aim was a democratic network structure. This contrasts with centralized systems. Decentralization promotes open access. It also fosters innovation and collaboration. The internet's architecture was initially designed to be decentralized and distributed. However, the internet has evolved towards a more centralized model. A small number of powerful entities now control significant portions of the internet. These entities manage key infrastructure components. They also exert considerable influence over the content available online. The internet has evolved into an immensely powerful tool. It is now considered the most powerful control tool in human history. This influence stems from its pervasive reach and connectivity. It enables widespread dissemination and manipulation of information. The internet's architecture facilitates surveillance and censorship. Control over the internet equates to control over perceived reality. This principle applies to various entities, from drug cartels to tech companies. Both seek to dominate the digital landscape for their own objectives. Securing and maintaining this control is paramount for these entities. Users are prompted to consider the ownership of their internet connection. The question of ownership raises important implications. These implications directly affect user freedom in the digital space. Autonomy is also a key factor influenced by internet connection ownership. Reflecting on these aspects encourages a deeper understanding of digital rights.